All right, I think we are live. Let me check. Yes. Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Fitzma TV here, aka G Lauren 33, and we are back tonight with the first episode of the Legit Shoot podcast. I am your host Fitzmug and I'm here with my co-host. As you guys know, his name is Anthony, aka Moose. Moose, say
What's up,
what up to the
guys? What's
people.
up, guys? You already know how we come in this time. Smackdown Live tonight. You already know.
You already know, yep. And we got our a special guest, our first guest. I feel like he's gonna you guys are gonna see a lot of him in the going months. He'll be probably a regular guest on the show. Marshall, you wanna say what's up?
Hey, yo, it's your boy Marcel, aka MJ the God, also known as the God of the Pod himself.
Dang, that's a big statement, but it's good to have you here, Marcel. Um so yeah, tonight we are here. We are reviewing SmackDown Live for March 20th, 2018. Also, once we get through SmackDown Live, here's the plan for tonight. We're gonna give our hot takes. Um, Me, Anthony, Marcel will give our hot takes real quick. Then we'll get right into the show. We have a lot to talk about as we are on the road to WrestleMania. And then after that, we will talk about some other stuff going on in the wrestling world. Me, Marcel, and Moose were talking off air for a little bit, and I feel like we have a pretty good show planned for you guys tonight. So, without a matter of fact, does anybody want to go first with their hot take?
Actually, Marcel, you want to go first?
Yes, I my hot take for this week is, and I know this might not be a nice opinion to say, but this week's hot take is SmackDown is undeniably the B show. No questions asked. Tonight showed it. 2 hours of SmackDown, and I got distracted or left the screen multiple times. Where with Raw, even though it's 3 hours and it feels like a drag sometimes, I never see myself leaving. Raw has definitely shown that it's dominant, even with slow moments. It still can thrive. SmackDown, even if it's a lot of action, because tonight we had some actual matches. But you asked me who won, what does it lead up to? I can't tell you. SmackDown not looking so good.
I can actually agree with you on that. And for my hot take, quick question, you guys. What's today?
March
Today,
20th, 2018.
Nah.
wrong.
What's today?
Today is Rusev Day.
That's right. Today is Rusev Day, just like every other day. But it seems like there's one person that does not celebrate Rusev Day. Can y'all guess who that is?
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it's Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yes, it is. Rusev is the most over superstar on SmackDown Live. He sold out calendars twice. They had to call back a third time to repackage on nearly 3,000, maybe. I believe.
I saw the video.
Yes, he sold out on calendars twice. Who could sell calendars like that? This guy then sold TV shirts, got his own gimmick over by mistake because when he beat Randy Orton, it wasn't supposed to get that over. He made English relevant. This guy is just what the crowd wants. I was at the Royal Rumble Live 2 months ago. Literally, during every single match, Rusev Day was getting chanted. When we were exiting the Wells Fargo Center, Rusev Day was getting chanted. I'm not sure if you guys peeped, but on Twitter, there was a video that went viral about an ROH crowd. Guess what they were chanting?
Rusev Day.
And Ring of Honor crowd was chanting Rusev Day. And what happens at Fastlane? He's fed to the guy who's going to face AJ Styles in the main event at WrestleMania. Obviously, they're going to make Nakamura look strong. So
Which isn't a bad thing.
Why not put the most over guy, right, and feed him to the Sharks, right? Just let him take a loss after loss after loss. He means nothing, right? He's only over with the crowd. Is it because Vince didn't plan for him to get this over? Is it because it's not his creation like Roman Reigns? Is that's why? Is that's why? I don't get it. Every single week I look forward to seeing maybe Rusev get an opportunity. Yes, he had opportunity at the United States champion, but we already knew Rude was going to win that. I just don't get it. Even today, the little things bother me. The fact that we came out from commercial break and Rusev was already in the ring excuse me if I'm wrong, but as soon as you hear the by Aiden English, doesn't the crowd erupt?
Huge pop right away.
Huge pop. Those who recall Clash of Champions, they had the pop of the the night. They have to pop every single time they're on TV. Is it because Vince doesn't want us at home to see the pop he gets? Like, I don't get it. That's my hot take for today. Rusev deserves more. Hashtag push Rusev. I'm with that. And happy Rusev Day.
Alrighty, for my hot take, I wanted to talk about a certain superstar. I want you guys to guess who he is. Um, he's in the mid card. He was on the show tonight, but he lost.
Ty Dillinger?
Oh, yes, the
I would.
perfect 10 himself. But SmackDown Live doesn't treat him like the perfect 10. It's more like a negative 10, all right? Let's switch that around a little bit.
Mhm.
Basically, Ty Dillinger, he came into the main roster with so much hype, all right? Every Royal Rumble, it seems like he comes out at number 10 because, it fits his gimmick. But WWE has failed to capitalize on his talent. He showed so much talent in those U.S. Championship matches against AJ Styles, if you guys remember, all the way
Yes.
back to last summer. But WWE has not done anything to build any momentum for this guy. They have one of the best singles competitors on SmackDown Live, and they're not using it. You can say that about so many other superstars. You can say that about Rusev. You can say that about Zack Ryder. You can say that about Sin Cara. The list goes on and on and on. But Dillinger, he sticks out like a sore thumb. Tonight he faced Baron Corbin. Did you care about that match? No, I did not care about that match, and
Mhm.
I don't like that. If you're not gonna use a guy like Ty Jones, why don't you send him back down to NXT? Isn't NXT getting ready to unveil a new mid card championship? I feel
Mhm.
like Dillinger would be so good. Um, Potentially he would get. He's already over with his gimmick, but it would help him get even more over, more exposure, bring more people to his character, and then he could come back to the main roster and be more successful. He's
Mhm.
he's not being utilized. He's barely on the show, and he's gonna be in the battle royal at WrestleMania and be one of the first people eliminated. That's how you're gonna make use of the perfect 10. He has one of the best gimmicks in WWE, but yet you're wasting him with each and every week. We're lucky we get to see him on a pre-show of a pay-per-view with an attack. Oh, and speaking of which, we're getting do branded pay-per-views every month now after WrestleMania. So do you think Ty Dillinger will even be on a pay per view for the rest of this calendar year? If we're lucky,
If not,
probably
if
not.
not pre-show,
If not pre-show, we'll
We'd
be
be
lucky if
lucky to
he
make
gets
the
in. Like,
pre-show.
we'll be lucky if he gets a backstage interview at any of these pay per views.
You know what? That's funny you bring up Ty because I remember 2017 Royal Rumble. He had the biggest pop of the night,
I
and
remember that very well.
I popped. I mean, I was happy to see him. And I don't care about that many superstars, but I care about Ty Dillinger. Marcel knows I was actually a fan of Dillinger when he first arrived on the main roster. Um, it's just sad to see what SmackDown does to people. Land of opportunity, more like the opposite of that, if you ask me.
And it's not an opportunity; it's just a death sentence. Um, but anyway, how you're not using him at this point? Send him down to NXT, and we might get into this later in the pod because there's a lot of superstars, a lot. The list is pretty long of superstars that WWE is not using correctly. And the reason why I wanted to make Dillinger my hot take of the week is because it came up after seeing that match with Baron Corbin. It does really piss me off how WWE, Vince, creative are not using him correctly. But that's my hot take um, for tonight's show. So after that, we're gonna get right into SmackDown Live. We are tonight. Once again, it was March 20th, 2018. We are on the road to WrestleMania. We have two SmackDown Lives left until WrestleMania. We are less than 3 weeks away, and the big thing coming into the night's program was the return of Daniel Bryan.
Wait,
Not
you
only
said
did Daniel Bryan come back,
mhm.
um, he's been off TV for the last couple weeks. He's been with his daughter Bree. It's not. I mean, his wife Bree. His daughter
Birdie.
Birdie. Yep.
or
Sorry, I forgot her name for a sec. Um, and he came back tonight. But not only did he come back to SmackDown Live as a GM, it was announced earlier today that he had finally been cleared by WWE medical staff to return as an in-ring competitor.
do you want to
Honestly,
know?
go ahead.
Continue. Oh well, do you want to know why I feel like WWE might have been pressured to do that? Anthony knows, and I'll let you know on something. I'm going through a little wrestling renaissance. I'm looking at these companies outside of WWE, the indies as WWE likes to call them, because WWE thinks they're the end all be all. But come to find out, with some wrestlers, leaving WWE is not a death sentence. That who was trying to get Daniel Bryan for an actual pay per view? The Bullet Club for their All In. And if Bullet Club would have snatched up one of the hottest, you can say free agents, it's actually a free agent, not a John Cena free agent, it would have honestly have been a huge upset. Because if a group, not a promotion, but a group, can fill a 10,000 seat arena by themselves, WWE would be terrified to see that now these little guys, the guys that are or a couple of them are rejects, the Young Bucks being DX impersonators, Kenny Omega voluntarily leaving the NXT training center, Cody can't even use his last name because, the last name Rhodes is WWE property. These guys that have been quote unquote rejects or people that have been thrown out are now doing what WWE can halftime fail to do, because I think we've all seen photos of, this is what SmackDown looks like tonight. This is what Raw looks tonight. I've noticed over the past couple months, even years, remember when Raw used to come on and say, we're in so-and-so city with 15,000, 17,000. I'm noticing they're not giving out stats anymore.
You blame them?
Hey,
you see social media, man.
Jam-packed.
SmackDown Live arenas half filled. SmackDown pay-per-views only 3/4 filled. Come on, they don't want those numbers out there.
Man, that's something else. Honestly, man, when SmackDown first started, it didn't even feel like 2018. It felt like 2014. It felt like
a recorded episode.
Yeah, the whole episode just felt like like the good old times, when we were all fighting for Daniel Bryan to get that spot at Mania. Honestly, SmackDown Live with Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens is looking in good shape, man. If y'all want to start with the opening segment, Fitz, you could take over.
Yeah, basically what I was talking about. We'll start with the opening segment, and we could probably just implement the Kevin Owens segment right into that. So basically, Daniel Bryan came out at the beginning of the show with a huge pop. What else would you expect? But basically, he came out and gave this very, very, very courageous speech. And this wasn't his character. It was basically Daniel Bryan, the person, talking about his role coming back. Yeah, Bryan Danielson. Now, WWE medical staff had been saying for the last 2 years they refused to clear him, and basically, there was rumors going out saying that WWE would let Daniel Bryan return for WrestleMania under the condition that he wouldn't do much in the ring. Shane McMahon would be carrying the workload for that match, and basically it would be kind of like a thank you to Daniel Bryan, because his contract is expiring in September, and WWE wasn't planning on clearing Bryan to become a full-time wrestler again. This was going to be a one-time thing. Daniel Bryan came out. He basically gave this huge speech about coming back, and then I think the line that we're all going to remember from this promo is what was it again? The fighting one.
I forget off the top of my head, unfortunately. Wow, you just said we're not going to forget it, and then none of us can recall it.
It's keep fighting.
Oh yeah, and the fight will.
Keep fighting for your dreams, and then I believe
your dreams will fight for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was honestly that's something. Me trying to get everybody to know I'm a wrestling fan. That's something that you might Instagram bios, Facebook bios.
Let's take over.
I'm on the bet. Hundreds of people ran to their bios just to put that quote in after he said that. It was a really good quote. And basically after that, Daniel Bryan was said he didn't know when he would return, but then immediately he looked right at the WrestleMania.
So,
oh, were you gonna say something?
Daniel Bryan, his rise to stardom, like the fact that he was the underdog or whatever. Would you guys still consider him the underdog right now in this whole segment? Or is
no
over that character?
At the moment, no,
Daniel,
I'm not gonna say he's an underdog character. Basically, as he once he actually returns to full time wrestling,
Hmm.
if that is the case, then we'll put him in that underdog. It's gonna depend on who he feuds with because, and we'll get into that just a sec because I had a theory of how WWE should book Daniel Bryan um up till SummerSlam.
Hmm.
But basically, just to finish off the opening segment, basically, Daniel looked at the WrestleMania sign. The fans were also pointing at the WrestleMania sign, and they were going like, they were chanting WrestleMania. Um, and I believe Brian said, um, he would return, to wrestle again. Basically, he did. I don't think he really came out and said he was gonna wrestle at WrestleMania, but he did say he plans to return full time very, very soon.
I mean, that can only mean one thing, right?
Exactly.
um,
so something that I thought about is I feel like, and this is something I think is very controversial. It might be controversial, but I feel like WWE forced him into early retirement, and that's wrong on their behalf. Think about how all of us cried when Daniel gave that very emotional "I'm retiring" speech. Now I feel like a lot of that is gone because you're coming back. When Sean hurt his back and he lost his smile and lost the WWE title, did Sean give a formal big speech? I'm retiring. No, he took some time off, couple years, and came back, arguably in some of the best shape of his career,
yes.
and did something that nobody thought he would ever
Yes.
did.
Yep.
And that's one last Horizon champion. I feel like WWE I'm forcing him to go into early retirement, quote unquote. You kind of are now put in a situation of, oh, should we trust anybody going into retirement? Yeah, Paige. That's why one thing. Paige has not formally said I'm not competing anymore. But who's to say next year something happens where Paige can actually come back again, probably after another sex tape or something.
Always going to lead into a broken record. It's going to get tiring just hearing somebody retire. God forbid, when they retire, you think the crowd's going to believe it? Like, oh yeah, damn, yeah, sure, you're going to be back. What, next year? That's why I didn't take it serious last year. This is all part of the storyline, man. When Daniel retired, yes, I took it serious. I'm like, damn, this is really happening right now. But as soon as I saw the storyline going on with Zayn, Owens, and Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan playing both sides in a way, well, favoring Owens and Zayn, come on, everyone would have known what was going to happen. The ongoing saying like of, oh, I'm not medically cleared yet. I'm not medically cleared yet. The only problem is, I don't think this is going to be Daniel Bryan's big return match. I don't think so. After today, yes, but I don't think this is the match that everyone's looking forward to for Daniel Bryan. If you ask me, dating back to last year, I want to see Daniel Bryan and Miz.
I was and Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right. I just want to make sure. Anyway, I would, and that's not gonna. I'm gonna kind of transition that into where WWE should book Daniel Bryan going forward. All right. Basically, he's gonna. It's basically all but confirmed that they're gonna do Shane versus Daniel versus Kevin Owens and Sami. And I can't see Daniel Bryan losing, especially in his return match. What's gonna depend of if WWE plans and this is going to be a one-time thing, or if they're actually going to make him a full-time wrestler again. If they do, then we have to figure out who's going to be the SmackDown general manager, because I don't think you're going to have Brian be full-time wrestling again, and then also be GM of SmackDown. Plus, that's also going to bring problems because Shane's not going to be there as commissioner, at least for now. So you need someone that's going to be there every single day.
That's funny you say that. From what it's looking like right now, there's only one person that could be general manager. I mean, we had a tag team match today. We have a tag team match announced for next week. If you ask me, just bring Teddy Long back.
Because we're going to have a 6-man tag team match, player.
Exactly.
And you're going one-on-one with the now semi-retired Undertaker.
That's
Holla,
exactly.
holla, holla.
That's
Holla,
exactly.
holla.
That's exactly what it feels like, man. It really does.
I wouldn't mind that. Honestly, I could also see them bringing back Booker T.
Oh,
Booker T.
um,
He's not doing anything. He's not on the Raw commentary, but he's still there.
Isn't he still running for Houston, mayor of Houston, or no?
yeah, I think he's still in that race. I'm pretty sure. I mean,
Yeah.
but why does it matter?
Just like
a
Yeah,
demon.
facts.
just like
Look at
Kane.
Kane. We're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that. I don't
This
need.
is
I don't wanna
SmackDown.
rant-
This is
I don't-
SmackDown.
Yeah, I
Alright,
don't want
so,
to rant again.
I say we go through the show real quick. Since the last segment was Daniel Bryan, we could conclude the podcast with the Daniel Bryan segment and the future plans. Um, I'd rather you guys start off the first match because I didn't like it one bit. Rusev versus Shinsuke Nakamura. An obvious
Yeah,
conclusion.
I'll give my quick thoughts on that. Basically, um, here's a problem I have. Why does WWE find the need to rehash matches we've already seen? Like, how many times have we seen Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal? We saw
Yeah,
that how
Oh
many times on
God.
pay per view? Like what, three times on pay per view? And we just see it a couple weeks ago on SmackDown Live?
yes, we
And I
did.
bet you we're gonna see it again in sometime the next 2 weeks on the road to
Definitely,
WrestleMania.
definitely.
Like, why do we need to see that? We just saw Shinsuke versus Rusev. I'm not complaining. Like, it was a great match they had at Fastlane.
It
But
was.
if 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 it was meant for the pay per view, why you gotta give it to us again on TV? Do you really have nothing for Rusev? Honestly, if you're gonna do, since you're not putting Rusev in any championship feuds as of right now, because honestly, I believe that possibly you could have put Rusev Day maybe against the Usos potentially.
Yes.
That would have been something I would like to see. But besides
But
that, I
then
would just
again,
build Rusev up for the Battle Royal.
or that too, yeah. But if you didn't know why that's happening, let me quote this. Oh, you didn't know? You better tell somebody. This
Oh, you
is
didn't know I'm a
this,
nice man.
this is one person's
Ladies
fault.
and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, generate G Generation X.
D-Generation
Proudly presents
X.
to you. It's what is it, sixth time? It's sixth time. WWE
Tag
Tag Team
team
Champions of
champion.
the
Well,
World.
and it's
Road Dogg
arguably
Jesse
worst
James, the
creative,
badass Billy Gunn, the
and it's
new
arguably
King
its worst creative
Kong.
superstar.
I hate that guy, man. Oh,
And then you think that the Superstar Shakeup is going to benefit anybody from Raw going to SmackDown, but then again, that's for the Superstar Shakeup predictions video. Let's just save that before we all just get angry and just start sending mean tweets out to
I don't
Road
want to
Dogg.
talk about that because most
Um,
likely I'll be there
so
on
Marcel,
Series 5, and I don't want to. No, no.
Marcel, your take on the Rusev and Shinsuke?
Rusev and Shinsuke. I was going to ask you guys earlier when you brought it up. You know, things happened last year when Rusev was gone for a while, and he came back with a spiffy, new, handsome haircut.
Oh
Do you
yeah.
think this is still him being punished for getting a haircut without WWE's permission?
Damn, I never thought
Because I
about
don't see any other way for them not to realize, like you said, selling out calendars. Calendar is not T-shirts. It's not collectors cups. It's
Didn't
not
Vince?
WWE ice
Isn't
cream
Vince the guy
bars.
that said if you sell merch, you deserve to be at the top of the card?
that.
He's been
I mean,
quoted on saying that.
I, I'm at a loss for words right now, man. It's just honestly, but this was an upgrade from what I expected. After AJ and Shinsuke fed off Rusev and Aiden English, was I the only person that was surprised that it was a singles match and not a tag team match? Holla holla! And I was expecting that.
It didn't matter to me either way because we've already seen that match. It's predictable bullcrap from WWE creative.
All right. Following that match, we had the little mini segment between Nakamura and AJ in the backstage, and I was telling Marcel earlier that I kind of found that pretty funny when for the past couple of weeks, Nakamura been going up to AJ saying, "I'm gonna beat you at WrestleMania." So before Nakamura could even say it, AJ quoted him, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, you're gonna beat me at WrestleMania," and Nakamura said, "Come on, you have to be a little bit more confident in that." I thought that was a pretty little good segment there. Let Nakamura say a couple of words other than need to
I,
face.
that's my question has been for since last week. What's up with WWE giving all the people that English is not their strong suit these promos when you have guys like Rusev who can cut good promos, and all these other guys who can? I
Hands
feel like, hey, she's getting somebody that every now and then, all right, but for the past 2 weeks, him and Oscar cutting borderline cringeworthy promos, like, ugh.
I already told you. Well, I'm not sure if I told the podcast, but when Lesnar loses at Mania, Heyman will have nothing to do. Why not turn Nakamura heel, Asuka heel, have Heyman be their spokes representative or their agent? I'm down for that.
I could see Oscar as a heel, but Nakamura,
Oscar, I think hate to pull
I
from a different.
Oscar should have been a heel coming up from the main roster,
Definitely.
but
But following that segment, we had what you call it? Fitz, your boy Ty Dillinger versus Baron Corbin in a 2-minute match.
I feel like we already basically touched on that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't care for this match because WWE creative, they don't care
Yep,
about
you don't
building superstars up. Baron Corbin, I think they're building him up just for him to have a
for the battle
chance.
royal. Yeah.
Because he did win the battle royal a couple years ago.
And thank you for saying that. Corey Graves was kind of getting on my nerves, making it seem as if, well, I think it was Tom Phillips. I'm not sure who it was. I'm not sure. Making it seem as if winning the Andre Memorial Battle Royal is a huge deal.
It should be. It's if you win that battle royal, you should it should put your character up on a level, bring you up.
Well,
But did you hear what they said? They said, "Oh, the inaugural winner Cesaro won it, and now he's a tag team champion." How long did it take him to win the tag team champions following that freaking win? They make it seem as if he got a push right away. Yeah, he was partnered up with Heyman, but how long did that last? They make it seem as if it's just you're the Andre Memorial Battle Royal winner, and then you're there, rise to stardom. No, it doesn't work that way. Was it going to take 4 years like it took Cesaro? Are you kidding me?
yeah.
Make it seem more a little bit approachable than just saying, "Oh, Cesaro won the tag team champions. He's currently with the Bar." That didn't happen right after. Why build it as if you rise to stardom off an automatic win? No. Once again, commentary just ruining things.
I mean, think about the winners of the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. It's been, of course, we had Cesaro, great superstar. We had Big Show.
Big
We
Show
have Mojo Rawley. Big Show is halfway retired right now.
Big Show that shouldn't have been him. That should have been Mizdow. Okay.
Oh, everybody believes
Don't
Miz
get me
Dow was somebody
started
that.
on that. The only reason why Big Show won that is because they needed a big man to win that.
Big
remember-
sweaty man.
I don't know if you've heard, but this year it's been rumored that Goldberg may be coming back to win.
I heard about that.
I don't want to talk about that.
I wouldn't care if that happened. I wouldn't give two craps.
You know what that means, right? That means since Goldberg's gonna return and win the match,
Like we have to watch Goldberg make that long ass entrance again.
or
Remember last
you know what
year,
that means?
Legit, I could have took a shit for 10 minutes, came back, and he still would be walking down that ramp. Please.
You know what that means, right? If he's in a battle royal, the match is gonna be 2 minutes long. Is he just gonna toss everybody out since that's how long he can last?
140, 145,
No
28
endurance,
seconds.
come on. So what? He can impress his kid.
Oh man.
I just want to say this. It has nothing to do with his kids, because I don't want you to go in the comments saying, "Oh, we're making fun of his kids." This has nothing to do with his kids. We're just talking about Goldberg himself and his lack of endurance for his age.
Another thing, since that battle royal was weak and careless and no one really cares about it. Next match was Charlotte versus Natty. Once again, I believe I took my dog out during this match. I believe I made some good food too. Wow,
I
that
don't
match
remember watching this match.
Only good thing to come out of this was there was a fake out cash in for the women's Money in the Bank. That's the only good thing to have come out of this match.
Yeah,
if as a WWE fan, if you don't realize they're not gonna do a cash in on a random Monday unless they really expect you to lose or Tuesday or whatever day this is. Friday.
And plus, after you build Asuka versus Charlotte, to have Asuka versus Carmella is the biggest downgrade since having Goldberg versus Lesnar instead of Jericho versus Owens at Mania. And I'm sorry for repeating myself. I said that yesterday, but I just can't get over it. Charlotte once again proves that she can't have a good match without a specific person that I will not mention at this podcast. Another boring match. Nothing stood out to me. Natty is just there, if you ask me. There's nothing I can really talk about this match.
The only thing I'll say about this is, and I've said this to Moose knows this. I've said this to him off air. I like Carmella. I see a lot of potential in her. The only thing that sucks is that this is ultimately going to end with her failing her cash in just like Baron Corbin did.
At Mania.
Well, Baron Corbin, his was hey, shouldn't bring up, but it's been punishment. You don't speak ill of Dave Meltzer and a service member in the U.S. military when WWE does all these great things for these people. So I mean, that's punishment.
Yeah, it's punishment, but for Carmella, you have to realize.
It's not punishment for Carmella, but
Carmella is not.
With it. She don't mind doing it.
WWE should have, and I'm gonna say this: WWE should have had this planned out. They had Carmelo walk around with that briefcase all year long. Who's the SmackDown Women's Champion? They should have. The best time to have Carmelo win the championship, and they didn't do it, was SummerSlam.
Yes, I was expecting it.
When they had Naomi. Naomi should have beat Natty, and then Carmelo should have cashed in afterwards. They didn't. So I thought, okay, maybe down the line Naomi gets the title back, and then eventually Carmelo
Guys,
wins it. No, they didn't. And now I love that we're getting Charlotte versus Asuka. It's a big time match. As much as I don't really like Charlotte, and we'll get into that later. Um, it's a big time match. But like it just sucks is I like Carmella. I see a lot of potential. I see a star in the making. But she's not gonna beat Asuka um via briefcase unless Vince has totally
hey,
lost his mind.
quick question, guys. Remember when there used to be 2 Money in the Bank matches on each pay per view? You know, one Money in the Bank was Raw, one was SmackDown. Y'all remember the colors? Like the blue one was obviously for SmackDown, the red one was for Raw. What color is Carmella's briefcase?
White and yellow.
White.
There's no specific color, brand, type of theme, right?
If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I see where you're going with.
Why not save a boring match at Mania? Why not? Why not save Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss? Why not have Alexa Bliss use heel tactics and win, and Nia just destroy her because that's what's going to happen anyway, and have Carmella save the match, save us from making something, walking out dogs or taking a piss and doing other things rather than watching.
That would be a great WrestleMania moment, right?
Yes, it really would. Picture it. Sal, anything you want to say?
I feel like it is a shame that you are going to be known as the only woman, the first woman to win this. Well, the second person to win the women's.
She has an asterisk next to her name because of James Ellsworth.
Continue.
Yeah, like I said, the second person to win the women's Money in the Bank. I was behind a certain somebody who is holding right now a intergender championship. You're gonna be the first person. You're gonna be the first person to cash in and fail. You're not gonna leave a good footprint on this Money in the Bank. I hope this isn't one of those things where it's introduced one time and it's thrown away. I know they wouldn't do that because the whole women's revolution, but a one and done thing, kind of like a certain pay-per-view, Great Something to Fire.
Oh, was it Balls of Fire? No.
I think it was Great Balls of Fire. Vince has big balls for big sweaty men. So, I mean, it's automatically one of those things where, hey, I hope this isn't one of those things where it's booked so badly that it caused W to give up on this great idea. Because the women's revolution is something that has needed to happen. Yes, I think we all have seen that W has already changed the name of the female battle royal from the Fabulous Moolah because it's come out. Hey, she wasn't that great of a person.
She wasn't, yeah, obviously. I'm just happy they actually listened to us. We've voiced our opinions and it was heard. But for rumors that are spreading for next year, for this year's Money in the Bank, there's going to be 2 Money in the Bank matches. It's going to be 4 people representing SmackDown, 4 representing Raw for the men's, and then you have the 4 for women and 4. I like that too. But the thing is, what I'm questioning is if a Raw superstar and women superstar, well, they both superstars, if you ask me, win, can they cash in on a SmackDown or strictly Raw?
I feel like that's definitely one of those things where it should be cashing on anyone, just like the original one was. If you want to cash in, because I think if you remember this one, where our guy CM Punk cashing on Edge, Edge's big joke that night was, ha ha ha, Raw doesn't have a championship. Yeah. What did CM Punk do? He cashed in, ended up staying on Raw, but hey.
After Blue Tista destroyed Edge.
I remember that, yeah.
I agree. I remember Sandow was a part of SmackDown 2013 when he tried to cash in on a big match John, and he failed, which is another missed opportunity. Not surprised.
I just think that the women are getting a lot of respect, and some of these, like I said, SmackDown being obviously the B show tonight. I remember the days when SmackDown was obviously recorded on Tuesdays, aired on Fridays or Thursdays towards the end, like they did, and I obviously did not care that, there's going to be an 8-woman match tonight for no apparent reason. Because, Teddy Long gets off on big match tag teams. I mean, it seemed like it felt like that again tonight.
Yes.
I feel like, of course, like you said, Daniel Bryan felt like 2014 again. That was the only good thing about 2014 that felt good. 2014 was a year of just where SmackDown had no direction, it was the B show, and SmackDown tonight is clearly the B show because the women aren't representing. This is the first time they actually had a segment in the ring. But like some people have said, well, they're not just standing backstage talking.
Yeah.
It definitely felt like a slow night tonight for SmackDown.
Yes. I like the word that you used to describe the women when it comes to what they accomplished, and that word was respect. And you know who has gained my respect in the tag team division over the past year and a half?
Who?
The
Souls.
Yeah.
The Uso Penitentiary. One thing. I'm sorry, because you bring those guys up. Somebody on Facebook brought up a good point. Can WWE stop with some of these goofy graphics?
Oh yes.
And
please,
instead of forcing Oscar and forcing Shinsuke to speak English, why not just give it subtitles if you want to put words on the screen anyway? Doesn't that make more sense? Instead of trying to throw up "Feel the Power" for the New Day, or even doing the whole penitentiary. I mean, these guys who
comes in and he's like, "Get these hands." I'm like,
it doesn't seem
5. Is this PBS Kids? What is this?
I just feel like WWE is like they're forcing things that don't need to be forced in some situations.
But what do they get out of this? Do they get a kick out of it? Like, oh, these nice words. Yeah, let's put them right there.
Yeah, man. Let's make the show more sparkly.
More sparkly, yeah, right.
I mean, what does that do?
And bring back Pyro, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, but if WrestleMania has no pyro when Kurt Angle comes out, I'm turning it off.
Automatic thumbs down. It's like the show better start off with, I want to see fireworks going through left and right all through the arena. You took it out pyro, and it hasn't been the same. Because every time AJ Styles or Brock Lesnar comes out, they give that boom sound effect. No, I can't.
There needs to be so much pyro that the Mercedes-Benz arena needs to be filled with smoke. People need to be coughing. The only show the only show you give a unique stage to, the only show you do all these big things for, pyro better be there. I agree.
Yes.
I just think that WWE should do it.
Come on real quick.
If you're really, I can understand you don't want to. It kind of is a waste if you use it for Raw and SmackDown because it is expensive. But you should have it for all pay-per-views, especially WrestleMania. There's no excuse for them not to have pyro.
Exactly. If I'm not sure if this match was made official today because SmackDown once again was so boring that I actually walked away from my screen again. I barely caught the Usos promo and I believe it was Jey Uso versus Luke Harper, but this Bludgeon Brothers little promo that's going on with the Usos and New Day, I'm actually all for it. I believe they have potential to steal the show if giving a match stipulation. Rumors are spreading that it was going to be a TLC match. Just imagine what Harper and Rowan could do with the TLC match. If y'all remember the Usos against the Lucha Dragons and New Day TLC 2015.
Oh my gosh.
That spot with the what's it called? Nina Del Sol off the ladder.
That was an amazing spot.
Amazing spot. Now imagine you just have two big guys just causing destruction, and you have people who sell good at like Kofi and Big E. And I think if you ask me, they should open the show, start off with a bang, similar to what AJ and Shane did last year, and similar to what the previous ladder matches have done.
Just a side note, I feel like what they're gonna do to start off WrestleMania is gonna be one of the tag matches, either Bryan and Shane versus Owens and Zayn.
It's definitely gonna be that, because
it's definitely gonna be that one of those.
Triple H has to come out second to last.
Exactly.
But I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to dig deep into this. Let's just try to keep this to a minimum.
The only thing I look forward to Triple H at WrestleMania is his entrance. That's really it.
He's a big showman. He's a huge showman, and it's amazing.
Yes, but like I was saying, I don't really want to mention this, but it was a part of the show. I'm gonna remain quiet while you two talk because this absolutely disgustes me. I'm a huge fan of Bobby Roode. I'm not a fan of him anymore. It's not that I don't like him. It's the booking for the United States title picture. It is beyond ridiculous. They took the title away to give Orton the Grand Slam champion instead of making that moment at WrestleMania, which is a waste. So if anything happens at Mania, it's probably going to be Jinder Mahal winning the United States Championship. And he's added to the match off of 2 straight wins off of Roode and Orton. This is beyond ridiculous. Is it because it's a triple threat match on Raw for the Intercontinental? That's the reason why they're doing this. Why is Jinder in this? Why did Orton win that Fastlane? Why is Roode still a face? What was the point of today? Why are we getting a tag team match next week with Samir Singh? The guy came to wrestle. He weighs 80 pounds soaking wet. What is the point of this?
Here's something I'm not liking that WWE has been doing over this past year. And you can tell me if you've noticed it with some of the pay-per-views we've seen, just some matches we've seen on Raw and SmackDown. But what's the WWE has a fetish with adding people to matches randomly?
Oh, the
first ever 8-man was an 8-man elimination chamber, fatal five ways, 6-pack challenges. What's up? What happened to the good old days where a fatal 4-way was all you needed?
Marcel,
he has this mindset of we have to get everybody on the show. No, the only people that should be on the show are your best performers. You want to get everyone on the show? Throw them in a fucking battle royal. Put them on the pre-show. Get it done with. I don't give a damn. You know what? No, I'm going on mute. You guys go.
I just think WWE is wasting time. I mean,
Marcel, I'm glad you mentioned that the adding into the match. I'm scared now. You know why?
Why?
Who pinned Charlotte tonight?
Oh my God, Natty has.
If they go through with this and make Asuka versus Charlotte versus Nat,
I gotta unmute myself after you said that. If they go through with that, I'm canceling my network subscription. I'm not watching Mania. Nope.
Oh my God!
Don't say that too loud. Remember, last time everybody did that, it was nothing more than just a. We're gonna give. I'm just gonna, we're gonna put the Royal Rumble that Roman wins on Monday night for free because it's snowy out.
It's snowy out, yeah. You know what I don't understand, and this is how you know Vince is not a he don't listen to the crowd. He's in charge of every decision that's made for the company. Am I correct?
Yes,
he's in charge. Okay, so it was up to him to remove the Fabulous Moolah's name from the Battle Royal. Am I correct? I'm pretty sure he saw us voice our opinions.
He has to give the okay. He has to give the big okay on that.
So he okays the fact that we don't want Fabulous Moolah, but he doesn't pay attention to the fact that we don't want certain people as champion. How does that work?
You touched on this last night, and I here's something I have to say, and I've been giving good, but I feel like this is a good booking point. Moving the belt off of Brock is definitely priority. Yeah. Putting it on Roman definitely opens up the door for other champions because you have a champion on TV. There are other matches because Brock in his little contract where he shows up 2 weeks before.
We've already seen.
No, it's not. That's why you have the shakeup and everything. If you recall, the day after Reigns won at WrestleMania 32, there were 4 people in the ring challenging him already.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Who on SmackDown Live do you want to really see? Do you really honestly want to see Reigns' face?
Honestly, him and AJ put on good matches, but
no, AJ puts on good matches. AJ puts on good matches with anybody.
But we all know that AJ won't win.
Yeah, and then we've seen KO.
You don't know that. You don't. I say you don't. The only reason I say you don't know that is because remember when John Cena had that weird phase where everyone got a match and he lost every now and then, but then everyone else. I feel like you're giving people shots. I say the best time to be in a WWE Championship picture was in that weird 2007 to 2010 area where essentially the people, all the top people were John Cena, Edge, Randy Orton, Triple H, Shawn Michaels,
everyone.
Like the titles were legit flopping between them. It was like on rotation. It'd be like Cena would have the title for 2 months. The only consistent champion during that time most likely was either Cena, and you can make a debate maybe for Taker, because Taker held the title. The world title, I believe, for most of 2009.
Wait, no, I don't think it's 2009, man.
No, it was 2009.
No, that was the scene. That was the Punk and Jeff Hardy feud.
Yeah, that was Punk. That was Punk Jeff Hardy where Jeff left.
Yeah, 2008.
Right after that, when did
7 to 8? It was
when did
7 to 8.
Take the title from Punk?
That was Hell in a Cell 2009, and then he lost it at Elimination Chamber when Mike was cost him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my bad. So it was actually Cena.
Yeah. But back to the original conversation about this U.S. title picture. If there's one word that you could use to describe it without harsh language, what would you use? What word?
Lackluster.
Lackluster.
P-break.
P-break. Okay. For me, it's blasphemy because I just Jinder Mahal is getting the match at WrestleMania. If this match is not on the pre-show, right? And the Usos, let's just say, are on the pre-show. once again, hashtag canceled the network.
Like, oh my gosh, and I don't want to say it should be on the pre-show because Orton and Bobby Roode, they
Deserve it.
should be on the main show.
They
They're
deserve
good
more.
enough.
Yes.
Like,
Rude's first WrestleMania. That's like that would we'd have an Austin Aries situation.
have one of the best entrances at Mania. It's his first Mania. I feel like he's gonna bring out the choir. He's gonna have something
The choir would be
good
beautiful.
cooking up. Like,
Yes.
oh my gosh.
I mean, it's the U.S. title picture. It's been people have talked about it a lot and said that in terms of where the Intercontinental Championship has been used to plateau and shoot guys up to the next level, it seems like the U.S. title has somewhat been a punishment sometimes.
Yeah, right.
That word I've been using a lot tonight, but think about it. Some people just haven't had good U.S. title reigns over the past couple years. Like it hasn't been used to the same extent. Because remember, John said he worked just like the Miz said, I worked my ass off to make the IC title relevant. John Cena picking up the U.S. title made it relevant again.
Yes,
But who kills it? Roman Reigns.
that's funny because lackluster title reigns. I mean, title reigns. Who won the United States Championship? Who took it as like
A
a
punishment, actual punishment.
yes, one name.
Now that you mentioned Roman Reigns championship reigns, what was Roman Reigns' best championship reign?
I
The
don't
tag
even
team,
know.
the tag team
Tag
title
team
The
title.
tag team
Seth.
title as the Shield is the only one I can think of.
only because of the Cody and Goda storyline. Um, tag team match. Guess what followed the Jinder, Rude, and Orton segment?
Or the female tag team match,
Becky
right?
Lynch, Naomi, I believe.
Yes, we saw the Riot Squad versus Becky and Naomi for the
In
700th.
a tag team match, like the last, like let's say, ever since like the Shake of last year, how many tag team matches have we seen Becky Lynch and Naomi in?
More times than I like to admit.
Well, with as many tag team matches we've seen, those tag team matches will have a 3-on-3 6-man tag team match to determine who was the worst tag team match.
I just can't.
You know what's funny? Like it's funny because during that tag team match, there was another tag team match announced for next week with the Rude and Orton and Gender situation. They just thrown it at us like we're supposed to enjoy it. Like
This is definitely one of those times where I definitely was not paying attention to the screen.
If you
My building was having an event, and I literally stopped watching. Or I was watching halfway, and I'm playing ping pong. More interested in playing ping pong than I was in watching Naomi and Becky Lynch. The only thing I really caught was Becky got the submission victory, I believe.
yes.
I'm not wrong.
No, you're right.
if you want to put on tag team matches, why aren't you building up your tag team division?
Thank you. That's a good question.
Yeah, that is. But then again, you have to sell out the Bludgeon Brothers, like the destruction of what they've been doing and everything. I believe that whole tag team division right now, the storytelling, the everything that's going on is simply amazing. I'm looking forward to that. But were you said like a female tag team division?
That honestly doesn't seem like a bad idea.
No, that is a horrible idea. I'm pretty sure they looked at TNA. Am I allowed to say that?
Impact Wrestling. Wait. Global Force Wrestling. Wait. Hulk NA. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, the guy that.
We're gonna talk about that later. That's actually a good topic to touch on, really, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think the females should get a tag team division because I feel like it would lose the prestige of everyone trying to be a women's champion. Because all the tag team is gonna do for the females is be like, okay, I'm done being a tag team with you. I want to move on and win better things without you.
I got you. Girl Bianca.
That's all.
Miriam.
Fitz,
Talk to me.
you agree with me on that though? I feel like
agree.
you know how like eventually all these tag teams split because they want to win the
Yes.
big champion.
It's in WWE's nature. Like you would put Becky or Naomi together, or like say for example Sasha and Bailey, or Mandy and Sonya, or whatever you want to do. How long would they last? A couple months, maybe half a year, and then
I mean, are we all? I mean, the only tag team that ever survived off of like sheer surprise was the Bar.
Knock on wood. Mania is gonna change.
Well, I mean, we've seen this week with the way they did Braun Strowman that it seems like one of them was definitely scared to step in the ring, and the other definitely was like, Why aren't you in here, my partner?"
Oh yeah,
So
that
I
is.
mean, that's something we have to touch on.
Um, quick question. For SmackDown, what do they need? Do they need more of a Seth Rollins or a Braun Strowman? Just wanted to throw that in.
Braun,
Braun. Okay, I just wanted to ask that.
because they're Seth Rollins. I feel like they have Kevin Owens, they have Sami
Yeah,
Zayn, they
no,
have
no,
these guys that are
they have big names. SmackDown's main event scene isn't bad. They just don't know how to book it.
No, who's they? There's one person. There's one person to blame for this. And yes, it's usually Vince because he okays everything. I mean, he might not seem like he's there on SmackDown, but he's there backstage every
Yeah,
single week. And he okays the decision that Jesse James, whatever his name is, Road Dogg, whatever you want to call him, makes. He approves everything. That's his fault. It's his fault for the ratings. It's his fault for the empty seats. It's his fault for everything.
Vince has been very had his mind on the XFL 2020. If you didn't know,
Oh, I know that's why Triple H is going to be taking over soon, hopefully. And honestly, the downfall of SmackDown all started at WrestleMania 33 when Orton took the title from Bray.
right?
That's where the downfall began. So all the way to now, WrestleMania 34, SmackDown is still struggling due to the simple fact that Bray should have had a longer reign. But following that, what if you want to call a match, I call it a piss break. Tag team match between Becky and Naomi followed the segment of the day. Uh, Fitz, you want to start it off?
yeah, yeah. So basically, Daniel Bryan came out and he basically called Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn out, and basically, he basically talked about. They showed the video, replay of what Kevin and Sami did, and basically, um, Daniel Bryan admitted after all these months that yes, he was basically backing up Owens and Zayn because they have history together, and he wanted to see them succeed because no one thought that they would get this far, especially in WWE, and be this damn good.
Yeah,
Which I agree. Even though it is scripted, I agree perfectly with Daniel Bryan on that regard. But basically, he said it was still wrong what they did. And Zayn said even though it was wrong,
he did
Sammy
deserve it.
and basically Daniel said he had been fired twice already in his career, and
Justin
basically
Roberts.
he had been able to return, and those returns made him stronger as a superstar and as a person. So he said, as much as he didn't want to do it, he fired Sammy and Kevin. And basically, we all knew where this was leading. The second Kevin Owens turned back, we all knew what was gonna happen
Yeah.
next. Kevin and Sammy started attacking. But it was good to see Brian put up some offense. You could see that CrossFit workout, those CrossFit workouts he's been staying, he's been training still. He still looks athletic as ever. He looks great. Those yes kicks he did on Kevin were absolutely beautiful.
Felt like he never lost a step.
And I can't wait for the do the yes walk
Oh,
eventually.
it's gonna be amazing.
The crippler crossface. We can't say that. Chris Benoit, Chris Bennett. Can we
Who's
say
that?
his name now?
Who's that?
But
Preston.
something I did love that segment, but something I did not like, and me and my friend Vic, somebody Anthony knows we talked about, was
Yes.
that yes, this is the very first night back, and you can tell that he wasn't get some offense in, but at the same time, the some of those spots were kind of heavy, like the power bomb onto the ring apron. Do you want to literally?
Yeah, that I
How would
did
you
have a
feel
problem.
next week if we got something on our Instagram, Facebook, like, hey, Daniel Bryan is now injured again. He can't wrestle. I mean,
I
all
did
because
have.
you did want to give him a good comeback. It just didn't feel right.
Because now I'm gonna bring in something. This kind of like a football thing. Um, or if you guys don't know, I live in Massachusetts. I'm a big Patriot.
Go Eagles.
But basically, BC Rob Gronkowski, he got a lot of injuries so far in his career. Every
Yes.
time I see this guy get tackled, I have to grasp forever just to see if he's gonna get up because you never know. I feel like I get that feeling with Daniel Bryan. He's had so many concussions. And I have a bad feeling if he just lands on his feet wrong or he hits his head the wrong way, WWE's gonna pull him and he won't be able to wrestle again.
Yeah,
And
that's
and I've seen that powerbomb tonight. And I know Kevin and Sami is chibi. It's their characters, and they don't mean to hurt Daniel. It's a good,
Yeah.
but it doesn't
Listen,
make sense at the time.
I'm just happy that they did on the ring apron and not what they did to Shane last week because
Yeah,
that was
Shane
crazy.
died. Shane died last week.
oh man, you heard those sounds he was making.
But
But
yeah, I
yeah,
mean, it
it makes
looks so
me.
like. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it makes me think that right, say down the line, I believe down the line we're eventually gonna get Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE title at SummerSlam.
Did you
This
see what
might be
Shinsuke tweeted?
um
Yes.
basically like what's gonna happen. Do you remember last year when John Cena and Shinsuke had that match at on SmackDown Live?
The botch
Uh,
suplex.
yeah, basically, what if something like that they do on Daniel Bryan and it doesn't go the right way?
God forbid, man. Like today, like I was enjoying the beatdown because as pretty sure both of y'all know that Sami Zayn is my favorite wrestler. Um, then AJ Styles follows. Um, I'm glad to see that they're actually going through with this because I believe that the Cammy, like AJ Styles calls him, and Shane and Daniel Bryan storyline is actually the best storyline currently in the company. Yes, it dated back all the way to October when, quote unquote, Kevin Owens beat a McMahon senseless. That was brilliant, and all leads to this. But I feel like this match is too prestigious to start off Mania, and rumors were spreading that Ziggler might have something to do with this.
Ew.
Hey, don't disrespect Ziggs like that.
Well, I was gonna lead this into basically, as I said earlier, I was gonna kind of predict or try to theorize what um how Daniel Bryan should be booked at least up to SummerSlam, and I'm gonna give this a try to do this real quick, and you guys can tell you guys what you think. So after Mania, I believe after the shakeup, well, I believe personally, if Randy Orton retains the U.S. title, I believe Orton's gonna go to Raw, and depending on if um no matter I believe no matter who's the IC champion,
I'm gonna step away for 1 second. I'll be right back, guys.
all right. But as I was saying, because I believe Randy Orton's to go in the Raw, and he's most likely taking the U.S. title with him.
Mhm.
And then basically whoever wins the triple threat match, I believe Miz, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, all three of them have an equal chance right now at least of bringing home the gold. I can't really pick a favorite at this moment. Um, I believe, and I honestly believe, no matter what, all three of them are probably going to come to SmackDown
Mhm.
in the shakeup.
Wow.
So most likely, what I think is what they're gonna do is they're gonna have Brian. Um, they're gonna build him up. They're not gonna just put him into a championship feud. I feel like they're gonna have. I feel like people do want to see him in the Miz.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to that.
I could see him and Ziggler having a couple feuds. I could see him maybe going with Seth Rollins if they decide to turn Seth Rollins heel, because there are rumors saying they may turn Rollins heel again soon.
Hopefully.
Um, maybe Bray Wyatt. You can always reunite that feud. There's many people that you could have Brian feud to, and I believe all of these feuds will eventually lead off to SummerSlam, and where we'll get Shinsuke versus Brian for the WWE title, and that will be officially when Daniel Bryan takes back the mantle of being the face of the company, and hopefully no longer will have to deal with that Roman Reigns bullcrap. Um, I
Okay,
want to hear your
question.
thoughts on that.
Yes, I love the idea. So you said Finn, Seth, and Miz come to SmackDown. Um, and then you say he takes the title away from Shinsuke. Where does this leave AJ Styles on Raw?
I feel like I feel like it's like AJ's going to Raw. The way I see it is if you're gonna put AJ to Raw, you have to make it a big deal because AJ has gone the last 2 years building a SmackDown Live. One of the biggest reasons why we watch SmackDown Live is because AJ's on that show. They
Definitely.
put they put AJ there because he's a big name and he's made it SmackDown Live what it is. It's the house that AJ Styles built. And
Yes.
you're gonna and you, AJ does not want to leave SmackDown Live, but we all know Vince wants AJ on Raw,
He
and
needs him on Raw, man.
yeah, and AJ
Needs
does
him.
need some new opponents. He has faced basically everybody on SmackDown as a heel and as a babyface.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's time. Like I would love
Who,
to see AJ versus Seth,
who are we talking about?
but we were talking about the we were talking about the what were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about the whole Daniel Bryan situation, and then Moose asked me, where does this lead AJ Styles after Mania? Where do they go with him? Do you see him going on Raw or SmackDown? I was just saying how if you're gonna put AJ on Raw, which they probably will be, you need to make it a big deal because AJ made SmackDown what it is over the last 2 years. I
Yeah,
feel
he
like
needs a good replacement. He needs somebody that's gonna be able to like
exactly.
carry that torch, quote unquote.
Exactly. And maybe somebody like Seth Rollins or Finn Balor could be the guy to. I don't feel like you can ever replace
Damn.
AJ because he is the best in the world right now, in my opinion. But
Y'all
you
for,
need somebody that will lead
Seth,
SmackDown into the
y'all
future.
forgetting one person and it's bothering me.
who? Braun? Dean.
No.
Who?
Sami Zayn.
Uh,
Talking
It's
about
not that. I
building.
just feel like WWE's not gonna give him that. Like same thing. It's amazing. He's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. But I just don't see WWE ever really push.
You don't see WWE or you don't see Vince because I see Triple H doing it. Look at NXT
All right, yeah,
when he
I'll
beat
give you
Neville.
that. Vince, like the highest right now with Vince in charge, I could see Sami Zayn is winning a mid card championship. Even though I believe Sami Zayn should be in heavyweight contention, but I just don't know if WWE will ever actually pull the trigger.
So, guys, minus the whole Brian, Zayn, and Kevin Owens segment. Any any takeaways from tonight's SmackDown?
SmackDown is the B show.
Nothing special on this show. It built towards WrestleMania. Now almost we know basically everything that SmackDown has planned for WrestleMania. The card's basically set at this point.
I mean, I don't know. Dewey, Natty pinned Charlotte, and since
I don't. I'm not gonna entertain that. At least right now. If WWE chooses to go in that direction, you'll get a huge rip from me personally. But like right now, I'm gonna try to ignore it. Hopefully, WWE doesn't get any idea.
seriously, I can agree with you on that. Um, besides that, I say 1 out of 5 today's SmackDown. Just because Daniel Bryan was I think the whole Daniel Bryan coming back and that whole segment at the end, even though it was cringy because we were all scared to see if he was gonna get hurt or not. I'll give it a 3. Honestly, Daniel Bryan made this show.
2.5.
He was, yeah, I would agree with Marcelo 2.5. Daniel Bryan was the saving grace. I mean, for this show,
You know,
even
I
though
just
it
put
wasn't
two and
that
two
good a
together.
show, but
I thought of it now. Now I know why they didn't want Rusev's entrance on televised. Actually, they didn't want a bigger pop than Bryan.
That honestly,
I can honestly
I
see
can see that.
And
Vince
isn't
ain't
that
gonna want
saying
bigger
something
pop.
about Rusev? The guy has to come out during a commercial break because they don't want him to get a bigger pop than the returning Daniel Bryan. Come on, man.
I mean, Vince can only be blind for but so long.
May I quote one of the goats? Minus the dead part. When the company gets taken over by his idiotic daughter and his doofus son-in-law, I say the company will be in great hands, even though that person that quoted that will not be returning. Um, I feel like
No, no,
WWE.
well, we can talk on that.
What?
So we can talk on that. Like that's an opinion. That's like, in my opinion, he'll come back. You can never say never, but my fear is that I hope he doesn't come back like Brett. Come back when it's too late, when you really can't do anything.
Yeah, seriously. If you ask me, I'd rather take a old Brett versus McMahon match again than seeing Jinder Mahal anywhere near a WrestleMania card.
Hey, I agree. I feel like Jinder had his time in the sun, and I feel like sometimes you got to let things go.
Let things go. WWE fails with that. Let Roman go, but no.
Hey, I don't want to be that guy, but Roman what's the name, strike on him. He's getting named up in these steroid scandals. Come on, we need one more.
It doesn't matter.
We can have AJ. We can have AJ run the company.
It doesn't matter because if he's caught up in that drug ring or whatever you want to call it, the steroid allegations, guess what he's gonna do? win the Intercontinental Champion because he deserves it. That's a punishment.
Oh
He's
yeah,
still gonna win some
treat
gold.
that like a backpack. Great, great. Gonna come out
He won't even actually wear the belt. He just sling it over his shoulder like a
Over his
fucking
shoulder and be like,
knapsack.
"Oh,
disrespect.
am I the only person that like popped when Miz won at WWE 25? Like I was so happy." But yeah, guys, that was SmackDown today. Once again, I was not a big fan of it. Never am. It's just it's sad because two of my favorite male wrestlers, Sami Zayn and AJ Styles, are on the show, and I could bear to watch it. I remember I said to George earlier today, while watching SmackDown today, it felt like I had a there was a robber in my house, and he had a gun to my head, forcing me to watch this, and I was against my free will, and I was forced to do it. Like I felt like I was just forced to watch it. You
Yeah, I
know,
mean, you guys told me that we were gonna watch. Like, I do love WWE program. I just feel like when it's not putting up anything really good, it just doesn't mean I should watch. I mean, tonight I didn't feel like I wanted to be there. Like maybe I don't know. It just feels like I miss old SmackDown. I miss SmackDown. I miss the 2007. I miss Undertaker running SmackDown, being
honestly,
the guy back.
Yep.
my favorite era of SmackDown came when King Booker was champion. Honestly, you had Kennedy versus Undertaker. You had MVP versus Kane. You had the Paul London and Brian Kendrick versus Eminem versus William Regal and Steven Taylor, whatever his name was. And you had the Hardys and the Armageddon pay-per-view 2006. SmackDown was at one point amazing. It really was. Remember the feud between Matt Hardy and MVP? Like
I'm better than you, Matt. What are you better than me at? Everything.
everything. Got Vander Holyfield to fight for him. You had a one-on-one basketball game. Like, what has SmackDown become besides
It's become dry.
comical relief? You have Jinder Mahal. I'm sorry, I'm about to rant real quick. You have Jinder Mahal every single time when
I'll be
he's
right
champion,
back.
not champion, whatever it takes. He cuts off the same promo. All you guys are hypocrites. Blah 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 blah.
India this. I am the
Seriously, man.
modern day Maharaja.
He's not even Indian. He's Canadian.
He
Like,
is Canadian with Indian descent. Like that's
oh, that's
don't forget. Don't hey, think about this. You know who Yokozuna is? Yokozuna's
yes.
Samoan.
He's Samoan. He's not even Japanese.
He's a giant Japanese guy.
But guess what? He didn't come out every day saying you guys are hypocrites. You didn't get the same promo. Yeah, Mr. Fuji there. He has some unique in him. You know what I'm saying? But Jinder Mahal, like, come on. Name a match that Jinder Mahal was in that doesn't involve a Samir Singh or the other Singh getting involved, and then he hits the Colossus, which is, I honestly believe, is the worst finisher in WWE. Like, SmackDown Live has become the laughing stock of professional wrestling. It has become the
Nah.
Brooklyn Nets.
It's still doing. It's
Brooklyn
still
Nets.
doing better than Impact, TNA Global Force, whatever the fuck they're calling themselves today.
Listen, man, that's about to go down the drain right now because when Vince buys it, it's gonna be a wrap. Listen, I'm being honest with you. When it comes to WWE programming, I know Fitz doesn't like 205 Live, and I don't want to get him started on that. I'd rather watch 205 Live than SmackDown.
Honestly, since Triple H taking over, I will agree with that statement.
And then Marcel, you know, I could at times be biased, and you know, that's saying a lot. If Sami Zayn and now Oscar's on there and AJ Styles, that I'd rather watch 205 Live. You know, that's saying something coming from me out of all people. I just can't take it serious. I can't. Like
It just the show. It seemed like it's even though I mean I don't know what was the big thing going on when freaking right after WrestleMania last like the first shakeup in SmackDown was kicking Raw's ass. I mean, what can we do to get back there? I know you're probably gonna say fire Road Dogg, but still, like,
listen, there's one person I can say SmackDown Live right now.
Triple H.
No. He's gonna come back and give us what we all need.
The gift of Jericho.
If SmackDown increase Jericho, that will increase the attendance rate, views, and a better rating on Wrestle Talk. I just believe that they just need that one person. Think about it. 2016 Raw. What was the real reason why you guys tuned in for Raw? And be honest.
Because I'm a wrestling fan.
Really?
And I enjoyed the programming.
For 2016 Raw, you didn't tune in just to see what KO and Jericho were up.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
I feel like I'm alone on that because all we were gonna get at that time was a Braun Strowman squash match, a Nia Jax squash match, probably Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns versus Chris Jericho, and then the next week, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Honestly,
I'll be honest. I tuned in the Raw during that time to see what they were gonna do with Sasha, And
Are you
Okay,
kidding
we,
me?
we gotta touch. We
let
gotta
me
touch on
finish. Let me finish.
Sasha.
Let me finish. Let
Come,
me finish. Let
Fitz.
me
If
finish.
there's
No, no, no.
anybody that's a
Let
big
me
no,
finish. No, 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 no. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me explain why. Let me explain why. All right, you didn't let me finish. I was gonna say Jericho and KO, but you interrupted me. The reason why I said that is because at that time, that's before all the Sasha bullcrap started, and then basically you looked at the Raw intro. If you remember, Sasha would be put at the beginning of the Raw intro, and she would be the last
ha,
image on the Raw.
yes,
Not well,
Marcel.
not
That
now.
then
Not
I
now. There's a
expected
new
Sasha
intro.
to be basically one of the faces of Monday Night
Yes,
Raw.
that's exactly what it means.
So
Thank you,
that's the
Marcel.
reason why I look
Yes,
forward to Raw each week.
yes.
And
I told Marcel this last week. I was like, oh, look who's at the end of the thing. No, people don't understand. When SmackDown aired in 2007, Undertaker was the last person to be shown before.
yep, yep. And then
Yes,
and
Big
back
Fist
in
era.
like the early days, or back in
yes.
like 2009, who was the last person you would see at the end of the Raw intro?
John Cena.
John Cena.
Thank you very much, Marcel. Didn't I just bring this up last
You
week?
did bring this up last week. I cannot
Yes, I
deny
did.
it.
And then Fitz, me and you are probably the biggest Sasha fans in the world. But you know why I disagree with you on that? Because Jericho and KO started getting that friendship along. Like it started becoming must see TV towards October. Towards like September, October is during the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. And during that time, Sasha had a reputation of, never successfully defending the title.
But
So Raw
that's her four-time women's championship reign. Like, wouldn't that mean like she was doing great?
at
Okay,
the time she was only a two-time champion.
yeah.
But my point is, as a Sasha fan, I learned to never be optimistic going into any event because all they're gonna do is let me down. George, you were in attendance at Hell in a Cell, were you?
Yeah, let's not speak about that.
Okay, so as a Sasha fan, you should know better, not to just tune in to expect something good because you know she's gonna get treated like garbage.
Well, yeah,
But then
yeah,
again,
that
this
was
is a
before.
SmackDown review, not a Raw review. Let's just
Well,
skip
I
on
thought
that
we were done
because
reviewing SmackDown.
yes, I know that, but it's just I want to focus on the improvements of SmackDown Live, and I feel like Sasha would definitely benefit. But come on, Vince still makes the decisions, man.
I have some fantasy booking for your girl Sasha, and what should have happened, what could happen. I mean, what needs to happen for her. If you guys like to hear my opinion on this,
I've
this is
been waiting
elaborating
for
on an
this.
old thing that I told Anthony. What it should have been with her and Oscar should have been her and Oscar have a nice little feud of matches. Leads up to WrestleMania, Oscar uh Oscar versus freaking Sasha.
So Sasha wins Chamber.
No, yes,
Okay.
honestly, yes. Now she wins, goes to WrestleMania. The buildup has been okay. Then she keeps feuding with Oscar, can't win, can't win. She goes, you know what? This is my last chance. If I cannot beat her at WrestleMania, I'm leaving Raw. I'm leaving. I don't know where my career is gonna go. I think what should have happened would have been good. Would have been a good. She loses, goes to SmackDown. They all have. Oh, you couldn't beat Sasha. You couldn't beat Oscar. Couldn't beat Oscar. She runs through the SmackDown division. They have. Then she's running through, wins the belt at SummerSlam, at Survivor Series, women versus women. Asuka as Raw Women's Champion versus Sasha as SmackDown Women's Champion. And then after almost 4 years of Asuka being undefeated, it would have been a good thing. It would have been actually been a good place to end her streak with Sasha saying, "I finally overcame this hump." After being champion on another show, running through a division, I finally can say I belong, knowing that I was able to beat this woman.
That cements her legacy right there.
That sounds absolutely delightful. Only in our dreams, man.
Yo,
Only in our dreams, man. I believe.
Vince hired me.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go to WWE Universe mode in 2K18 real quick.
Hey, mine is
Seriously,
running right now and it's going great.
seriously, man. The legit shoot for WWE Creative. Spread the word. Spread the word. But like I said before, man, the reason why I don't look forward to, I mean, if there's one person that knows how much I love Sasha, it's Marcel. The reason why I didn't look forward to it every week because we know if Sasha was fighting for the championship on Raw, at least we look forward to that because we know she's gonna win. But then all we're gonna get is segment after segment just for an eventual the roadblock 2016. 2 seconds left.
I don't want to talk about that.
Two
Haha.
seconds.
That was the one that got me.
Well, since Marcel doesn't know the story, George, can
2
you
seconds left.
since Marcel doesn't know the story, George, can you explain to him what happened after Charlotte beat Sasha at Hell in a Cell 2016? Since you were there.
Are you want the experience?
Just the noise, like the
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah,
reactions.
yeah. So basically, I was at Hell in a Cell 2006. It was in Boston. Just a couple minutes away from me. And basically, we were all hyped for the main event. We were all hyped because Sasha in her hometown, and we expected Sasha to win. Um, because after SummerSlam, Sasha had just got back the title, and we were hyped. All right. And but like basically we knew from the start of that match when the row, especially when Charlotte put Sasha through the table, we knew something was off. And
Yeah.
then but we didn't lose hope. Um but basically and it was a good match, very good match. But then the second that Charlotte couldn't put Sasha through the table, we knew practically at this point I looked at my cousin who came with me and we knew that Sasha was probably not gonna win because we knew that this was definitely a spot that Vince had planned for this match. And
Yeah.
we didn't say anything until after the match. But I remember Charlotte pinning Sasha 1, 2, 3, and the silence that came in that arena, you could probably compare it to Undertaker losing his streak to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30. It was like absolutely silence. And then after Charlotte went backstage, we gave Sasha a round of applause. Um, but then it does turn into anger as fans were chanting bullshit. I cried on the way home,
I cried too that night, man. That's fun.
and then I made a vlog of that, but I never posted it because I just it's probably somewhere on my computer. Like, and I still try not to remember that day because it was absolutely one of the most heartbreaking days for me as just a WWE fan, a wrestling fan in general. That
Seriously.
Vince could just doesn't care. Like it's
You
all about
forget, man.
everything.
Charlotte is blonde.
Let's just flip the title because Shaw was a blonde. And I was like, then what was the point of giving Sasha the title in the first place? You
To
realistically
build up her reigns. I don't know.
Man, it doesn't matter who has titles after WrestleMania. You wanna know why? I know who's gonna win them all. Roman Reigns. Women's titles, cruiserweight titles, tag team titles. Roman goes over.
I also wanted to I also had a question. All right, we're speaking about titles, and we know WWE is going back to do branded pay-per-views next month. So one thing if you remember, back in 2009, 2010, when WWE all pay-per-views would do branded, what they would usually do is they would have your two main championships, so WWE Championship, World Heavyweight Championship matches. Now it's Universal Championship and the WWE Championship. Then you would have your two mid-card titles, the Intercontinental and the US,
Yeah.
which haven't changed. And you usually have either one Divas Championship match, and then there was only like one unified. Actually, no, there was two tag team titles, but you only usually have one on the show, and there was no pre-show or anything like that. How do you think WWE should structure these pay-per-views? Because now, if you look at it, you have your two major championships, you have your two mid-card championships, you have your two tag team titles, you have your two
Yeah,
um
exactly.
women's titles, then
If
you have the cruiserweight
if
title.
there's one thing that you should remember, how about those matches that are just like just heated rivalries that don't need a
Exactly.
title?
That's the reason why I asked this question.
Honestly, I
And I
wouldn't
know
be
those are your favorites.
surprised if they unify the tag team champions and have whoever the tag team champions are do go on both shows. Um, I just listen. I don't think this dual branded pay per views is a good thing for the company. I like the SmackDown branded pay per view. Well, I try to like them.
Well, they've been going back and forth with these past years. So remember last year elimination was SmackDown, now it's Raw. So they've been flipping.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's just I feel like think about it. Like when Aleister Black gets called up and
Alistair Black, I'm sorry, he needs a mid card title right away. I'm sorry.
yeah, he does. He should win in his debut if you ask me. But maybe that's me
I
being
dare
biased.
Vince to ruin Aleister Black in the main
If
roster.
he ruins Aleister Black,
Oh my
I
god!
what? Um,
Like how do you?
uh,
That
but
gimmick speaks for itself.
seriously, but besides that, like I like the fact that each brand have their own branded pay per views due to the simple fact that these people honestly think about it, if we go dual branded pay per views, can you honestly see Bobby Roode in any matches that's not for the title? God forbid. No, you can't. Um, let's just say Andrade St. Almas gets called up, right? Do you see him having a match over Seth Rollins? No, you don't.
Hell no.
How can you fit nearly 10 main eventers in two
Well,
matches?
remember, WWE has already
Probably
said
matches?
all their pay-per-views going into I think 4 hours now.
Oh, that'll be too long. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can barely deal with like 2 hour one.
Dude, I could barely deal with a 30 minutes of SmackDown. Imagine. But the thing is, I give props to SmackDown because Fastlane was predictable, but it was enjoyable. That six-pack challenge, but besides the addition of Shane McMahon, it was good. Rusev and Shinsuke started off pretty good. Honestly, I was impressed by Ruby Riot. I feel like they shouldn't do the dual branded pay-per-views. Let people have time to shine. Think about it. Look at JBL 2004 to 2005. If it was dual branded, he would never be champion.
Yeah, because you know
Give these people.
Triple H would love working on Thursdays. Man.
Yeah, exactly. Quoting Paul Heyman, that's the only reason why JBL was champion. SmackDown just, I understand a part of it. The reason, like, the dual branded SmackDown needs the views. But listen, you just need one person, and that guy is Chris Jericho. Somebody that can grab the audience's attention, make them go to the arenas, make them view, make them watch at home. They just need those type of people
The manager list of Jericho.
on SmackDown. Like, seriously.
You want a title shot where you're not going to get it. What? You're not going to get it.
Like, that would be amazing. I mean, would you guys look forward to SmackDown if Jericho was on it with this gimmick? A small part of you with it? More than you already are?
Honestly, I mean, I feel like we need something else. And Jericho is something I think I would watch. You know, my guy Alpha would do amazing there.
Come on, man. Like, imagine him with a list of 1,004 holds. Like,
here's why you should watch SmackDown. There's thousands on SmackDown. Rule number 1, armbar.
Oh, that was a classic.
Hey, 1,001 reasons why you should be my Valentine. Rule number 1, armbar.
Look at man, the man is just he's just great. I feel like SmackDown could use somebody like that, you know. Just
here's my question: is Chris Jericho you say your favorite of all time?
Yes, he is.
So how on the last episode could you say, yeah, Miz can be the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, seeing as though Chris Jericho has held the Intercontinental Championship the most times, at 9, I believe.
Oh, you know why I say that? What about Miz? You know why?
Why?
Can you name a good Chris Jericho Intercontinental title reign? Not match, reign.
You're right.
Remember, I love Jericho. That's my favorite wrestler of all time. Jericho, he did make the belt prestigious by having it 9 times, and that's honestly a goal to become the longest reigning or most reigns ever. Miz is gonna break it, obviously, we all know that. But the reason why I say Miz is the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time is because he makes it seem as if the belt is more important than the main belt, which is Universal. Miz really thinks that he's the main event everywhere he goes. You know?
You are correct.
Where Jericho, at the time when he was champion, you know, that was during the reign of terror, where Triple H held the belt for 6 years, 7 months, and 3 days.
In a pear tree.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we already knew Triple H was gonna be the last segment. Miz could start off a show, he could end the show. Miz got in the ring and literally just ended Reigns and Cena at the same time, and during their little shoot before No Mercy. Like, Miz makes the IC champion prestigious. He makes it seem as like it's the main event. Think about it. Him and Ziggler in 2016. Jericho never had a feud like that, you know, for that belt in particular. And now imagine 2008, if it was Michaels versus Jericho for the IC championship, then I'll have a different opinion. But that wasn't the case. The closest thing to it was the Mysterio and Jericho feud in 2009. But the only thing that made it prestigious was the fact that Jericho wanted to remove Mysterio's mask. I feel like the mask was more important than the belt.
Booyaka, booyaka.
619. You get my point?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It is what it is, man. Anything else?
Go ahead, guys.
Say that again?
I got nothing to say on that.
Exactly. SmackDown needs the gift of
Hardcore B show, man. Hardcore B show. You know what SmackDown felt like tonight?
what?
Those old ECW episodes.
The WWE ECW.
WWE ECW, yes.
Yeah, that's not good. That's damn. That's how bad you think it was.
Yeah, it felt like I used to only watch ECW because I thought there was gonna be some hardcore stuff. Thought there was gonna be some good stuff, but hey, it never really happened. I thought tonight was gonna have some interesting things, but hey, it never came to fruition.
Let's not get a little carried away. Zayn and Owens did a great job.
Zayn and Owens, yes, they had many good
Yeah.
things in them, but at the same time, it just some of the things just felt dead and flat tonight.
I can agree with
No, that's SmackDown for you.
that. That's Road Dog for you.
Oh, you didn't know?
I'm telling you, every single week I'm gonna blame Road Dog. I will point the finger at Road Dog. This is
Street Puppy?
all his
Street Puppy?
fault. You know what? That's all from me today, man, about SmackDown. I could barely talk about it anymore.
Hey.
It's a damn shame that AJ and Nakamura don't even have a. What's their feud? Who's the better man?
I think WWE is trying to cash in on the fact that people they understand that we know that they had a match in New Japan.
And I
I think
wanted
WWE's trying to cash in on that.
like AJ to bring up how you don't even have to say a company. You can say like, oh, I remember you beating me in Japan. This is payback for me. This is one reason why I wanted to do that. It would make it feel more real.
Yes, I never got my rematch. Another thing too.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't get rematches, and that's a shame.
Owens, Finn.
Freaking Goldberg. Finn, yeah.
The list goes on, and it so happened to be for the same belt.
Yeah. I mean, any belt that has to lead to Roman, no one gets a rematch.
Only
Roman.
Reigns.
All roads lead to Rome. And Reigns.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Yeah, but other than that, do we have anything else we gotta cover?
Not as far as I know, guys.
I believe that's it.
Alrighty. Before we get out of here, I want to thank you guys for coming through to today's episode of the Legit Suit Podcast. Um, this was the review for SmackDown Live on March 20th, 2018, aka Rusev Day.
Rusev Day.
Yes.
Never forget Rusev Day.
Never forget, every day is Rusev Day. But thank you guys for coming through the review. With, real quick shout out to Markel. He is our first guest.
Yes.
And I feel like you'll be seeing a lot more of him.
I'm definitely glad you guys invited me on and are willing to have me on because this has been something I've always wanted to have a podcast and over something so special in my heart like wrestling. One of I think my first memory is hearing Stone Cold Steve Austin's glass break for entrance, and I'm glad that you guys have invited me and introduced me and given me a second home in this podcast.
No problem, my boy.
Yeah.
It's been real. I like your takes. Everybody aired their grievances in a way. Some we agreed with, some we don't. For those that we don't agree with, we could definitely have another podcast and try to see what different views we have on particular situations and events that occur even outside of WWE. I'm looking forward to that very much. Marcel, you will be on this show quite often.
You know, I'm a Bullet Club stan right now, so hey, I have a lot of opinions on a lot of things.
I like that. So basically, in terms of when we'll be next on, me and Anthony have to discuss most likely Wednesday or Thursday. We're gonna do our weekly pod where we discuss news and rumors. Most likely, I think we're doing WrestleMania predictions.
Yes.
That's gonna be our main focus. Markel may be with us. We'll see. We'll figure that out off the air. But make sure to subscribe to the Legit Shoot podcast. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram. The links we're gonna put those in the description. We still have to do those. Make sure just if you guys want to get in contact with us and just talk about wrestling, um, just make sure just check out our social media links. Thank you guys for taking some time out of your day to listen to us.
And
it's been real. Do you guys have anything else you want to say before we leave?
happy Rusev Day.
Happy Rusev Day, and Sasha's already had all her chances.
No, you
Okay,
did.
okay, okay, no, okay, okay. Um,
Marcel will no longer be on this podcast now.
yeah, yeah.
Nah, respect.
Fired.
Wrestling is more than big
Oh
sweaty
yeah,
men wrestling. It's big sweaty men wrestling with stories.
yeah. I think I'm gonna have to call Matt Hardy. We're gonna have you deleted.
No, no. I need my broken brilliance to be unlocked.
But anyway, that's it for today's episode. We'll see you guys later this week on the legit shoot for Markel, for Anthony, for Moose. Yo, this is Fitzmug. It's been real. See ya.